What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Friday, September 3rd, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you so much for tuning in, joining me. Happy Friday, Venus Day. It's definitely a vibe shift today. We're going to see the sun come to 11 degrees of Virgo, and it's quincunx Chiron, and Chiron's at 11 degrees Aries as well. It's that exact quincunx. It's I feel like the numbing's off a little bit. Like it's been kind of, I don't want to say just like smooth sailing, but there's definitely been this like essence and this like intoxication. I feel like that this week is carried energetically, and with Mars coming off the opposition to Neptune and working towards that trine to Pluto mixed with this quincunx, it's like it's very real, and it's real about a lot of choices that you've made in your life up to this point, the choices that you're making currently to purify your reality, and are you listening to where spirit's taking you or pushing in a completely opposite direction? So there's that purification, but it's getting intense, and I think it's intense with like a really hypercritical outlook on yourself or your environment or just reality. So I feel like today's where we're extra picky, even though it's not fully Virgo season yet, until we get that new moon on Monday, which will really lock in Virgo season. We're still in that Leo lunation, but today's, maybe we're just putting the final touches on things and the identification of where spirit has been guiding us. But I think it's going to feel a little bit more real for a Friday. We're going to see that moon come into Leo, and it's going to, start the dark moon phase tomorrow. So it's nice to get some fire in the chart with that Leo moon. Um, there's certain things that I think we want to be creative with and express ourselves fully, and that's very important. We are going to see the moon finish off the day with an opposition to Saturn. So there is a little bit of that like tug of war between decisions or authority in our life or just having to make this move, and it's not the most comfortable, but we have to take the courage within us right now to make it happen. On the bright side, that moon in Leo, which I really do like a moon in Leo, like definitely giving us that just strong fire and that strength, and like what do we really want to hold on, that's going to be courageous and powerful and expressive. And it's going to make really good aspects to Mercury and the North Node. The Mercury just came off the trine over to that North Node. That North Node is now at 5 degrees of Gemini. Um, we get the moon making a sextile to Mercury and a nice sextile over to that North Node. So it's a sextile triangle, a lot of pressure on our moon. And I think a lot of it is about the courage in our personal lives to take action and express ourselves very, very purely, even, or like really to the point about what we want and what we desire and what's going to bring us the happiness we're looking for. A lot of it is really about what's going on in your environment and getting sort of maybe all the downloads or maybe all the intuitive feelings on page with the mind, so that you're finding that balance and being able to make a decision. So it's still that sort of decision sort of energy here, and it's like the decision of like what really needs to be cleaned up and what really doesn't, and what's really important to you spiritually in your reality and what isn't. And it just seems like today gets a little more intense with Mars a degree away from the trine to Pluto. Yeah, it's harmonious, but I mean, that's an intense aspect. You get Mars and Pluto, you know, aspecting each other. It's high levels of intensity, and that's dealing with the purification of finding, our own structures here in life and our own authority and those deep soul desires. Where are they pulling you towards? Are you ready to go in that direction? Are you ready to speak for it? Are you willing to grab the courage necessary to really close out a cycle? And it's probably a bigger cycle than just a lunation, as we're coming into a dark moon, but it's kind of moving in a whole new direction of reality. And I think that that's what's pretty wild about this time. And I think we've gotten a lot of the the messages already. So now it's like, what are you going to do with them? You going to sit around and contemplate, or are you going to make a decision? And that's what's difficult about this Mercury retrograde that we're coming up on, and about to see that Mercury come to 10 degrees in a couple days next week and enter shadow period. So we're on the eve of Mercury shadow, and we have Venus, of course, in Libra too, squaring off with Pluto and working on a trine over to Jupiter. You have to be willing to let go of things that aren't showing up with the big gift and the connection in life. And it really isn't bringing that expanse in your reality, and what's not showing up as a gift when it comes to people, and then what people are showing up as gifts. You know, coming to conclusions about that, because I think the conclusion is already there. It's like, do we really want to get stuck in some sort of contemplation or purgatory in our own mind right now about the relations and about values, or even just our reality? Or are we willing to, see the message clear that came through from in a very divine essence of very particular changes? Could be big or small depending on the person, but it's really that's what's cleaning things up. And I think that today's good in a sense that if we boss up and grab courage for the relations, very much about people. Jupiter, Saturn in Aquarius, Venus, and Mercury in Libra. The people are so important in our life right now, and especially, Venus, Pluto in square, we cannot want to let go of something, even though we know it's not bringing us beauty or balance that we're looking for. But at the same time, with these Plutonian aspects, I think we can really get down to the bottom of what will bring the happiness. But it's just that force pressure moment of, are you willing to do something about it if you're not seeing that aesthetic in life? Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of feels like we're gonna really want that heart and that courage to make these kind of quick moves here and follow that direction of the heart. But I feel like we might feel like we're backpedaling if we're still stalling when we know there's changes that have to be made and we've gotten that message very clearly. But are we still going to question it and weigh things out when we're just stalling? So it can feel a little stalled today, and I think we want to flip that around and use the moon in Aries, the moon in Leo, and that fire that it's bringing us, and the good aspects that it's making too to Mercury in the North Node today. You don't have to contemplate what's going to make you happy. You just have to do what's going to make you happy, and don't hold yourself back from that, or don't feel like you can't do it. It's a time of power. It's a time of change and mutability. So I think we all have little things, at least little things, that we need to find more beauty and love in our life, and it's through a lot of relationships, and it's through grabbing your power back to make these decisions. So interesting Friday. I still like the week, but we're starting to feel these shifts take place, and I think that comes through pretty strong today and into this weekend with a dark moon. Love you all very much. Hope you have a beautiful Friday, and I'll see you for the weekend forecast mañana. Peace.